Hey everybody, it's Stefan with S&S Diving. I'm a scuba diving instructor, rebreather diver, cave diver, and today I would like to talk about my views on side mount diving and how they've changed over the years while I've been a diver. The purpose of this video is for anyone who's considering getting into side mount diving, might give them some insight and advantages they might not have thought about or know about, because I certainly didn't whenever I first started diving. It also might help someone who is wanting to get into tech diving and is on the fence whether to do the back mounted doubles route or side mount. So, like I'm sure a lot of you, my first instructor started diving in the 90s with a jacket style BCD, and that is all they've ever dove, like ever. Has never tried any other configuration of sort of tech diving or even diving a backplate wing. Closest thing to that would be a back inflate jacket style BCD. They've never done any side mount diving or any other kind of configuration other than jacket style BCD. So there wasn't really any push or even really any information on other forms of diving when I first started, other than the normal small mention of it in the training materials. So I first became more aware of side mount diving when I was doing my own research, as I wanted to get into tech diving. Just watching videos and listening to podcasts. The first form of tech diving I really kind of came across was the DIR system, and many DIR agencies or people talking about DIR kind of view side mount diving as a tool for dives where restrictions, and it makes them more easily to pass through. Now some of this has changed. There's many DIR agencies where divers only dive side mount diving, but the old DIR divers still view DIR as back mounted doubles with a manifold and a long hose. And I mean, there's more to the configuration and the whole team aspect, but the original DIR was designed for back mounted doubles. And even though I liked the DIR doubles back mount concept, with the price of helium rising, and this was before the big spike recently, I decided to go straight into rebreather for my tech diving. When I decided to get certified for cave, I decided I wanted to do it in side mount because I kind of had known that side mount diving was better for restrictions and things like that. And some of the caves that are within driving distance of me are side mount only, so I thought it would be the right tool for the job. So I got certified in side mount diving. I did the required dives to get certified on my side mount rebreather, and I did the required dives on that rebreather to be able to begin my cave diver training. So after diving the side mount rebreather for some time now, I recognize the added benefits that I hadn't thought of before. Traveling with side mount open circuit has some benefits. Firstly, it's very light. It's almost as light as my titanium travel backplate setup. The main weight added is the second regulator set. It also is very compact. It can roll up into a smaller area than the backplate can. The next benefit for me, especially while traveling alone, is gas redundancy. You can still do 2 dives with 2 tank rentals. You just dive both tanks, both dives, and it allows you to have more usable air and it's better for your reserve for gas planning. Along with the redundancy of having 2 tanks, it sets you up for self-reliant diving and solo diving if you're trained in that respect, without having to rent a special pony bottle and being off balance with the pony bottle. But the main benefit for me while traveling alone is for solo is, rather than having some horrible insta buddy, you can do solo diving. I don't want to get into the different aspects, pros and cons, and safety of solo diving, and open up that can of worms in this. It's just side mount diving is inherently able to have the self-reliance and the redundancy of gas. But solo or side mount diving, in honesty, isn't always what I use when I travel. Such as like whenever I'm traveling with my family and I'm going to do a simple reef charter and my son's going along, I just take my travel titanium black plate wing. It's simple, it's easy, especially on boats, to just have the tank out of the way on your back. So it hasn't completely replaced my travel rig, but it is definitely my go-to when I'm solo traveling or traveling with my rebreather. For rebreather travel, firstly, the side mount rebreather is lighter and more compact for travel than my back mounted unit. And so if I want to take the rebreather on a plane, the side mount unit is my go-to. Just for clarification, my side mount rebreather is the KISS Sidekick, and my back mount unit is the KISS Classic. Additionally to that, my side mount rebreather setup is mostly self-contained, so if my rebreather has a major issue that can't be fixed while I'm on a dive trip, that could possibly end the trip for me, but I can just bring along my other side mount regulator set and rent another tank and finish the trip in open circuit side mount. If I wanted to do that with the back mount unit, I would have to also bring two regulators, my doubles wing, as my rebreather uses a different wing than a doubles wing, and hope that they have a doubles tank with a manifold to rent. Also, in regards to air travel, where you can't take your cylinders with you, my side mount rebreather is more versatile for what cylinders are available at the location I'm traveling to. With a little modification and a little more rigging, it doesn't even have to use rebreather cylinders to be comfortable to dive it. It hasn't completely replaced my back mount rebreather unit, as there are still some aspects of diving that are easier with the back mounted unit, such as deep cave diving, where I want, with a DPV, where I need extra area for more stage cylinders and things like that. With a rebreather on my back, allows me a little more room for hauling in extra stage cylinders. Another great benefit of side mount diving is weighting. The weighting for side mount is much easier to place so that you are perfectly in the horizontal trim. Backplate does a great job of having the wing, on your back, that helps you keep you in trim. But with the side mount, you can really fine tune where your weighting is and where you need it. So that's also a definite added benefit. Another added benefit to side mount diving is the cylinders that you can dive with. It doesn't matter, depending on your configuration. You can dive aluminums, you can dive steels, you can dive different sizes of steels. Like if you're doing just regular little recreational dives, you can use some LP50s on each side. You don't have to use 80s. So it really, which is very nice and small and compact and freeing, kind of outweighs the freedom you get from having a cylinder on your back and out of the way. With the smaller cylinders, it's also very nice for being streamlined and not cumbersome with big cylinders. So if you're looking to get into side mount diving, I highly recommend taking a course. It's safer and it'll speed up your learning process, getting used to the system and doing the skills and getting your weighting correct. Also, some agencies require you to have a certification prior to doing some courses in side mount, such as if you want to learn side mount rebreather. Some of them you have to have a side mount certification and experience in side mount diving prior to taking that course. When choosing an instructor, choose one that's almost exclusively diving side mount. They will be better at explaining different aspects, as well as being able to see you in your gear underwater. and making small adjustments to properly configure your setup. So that's most of the added benefits to side mount diving that I wasn't aware of before. I mean, I went from not knowing anything about side mount diving to realizing some of the benefits and aspects that I hadn't expected. It's also very streamlined. I don't know if I mentioned that before. More streamlined than back mount. If you know any other pros or cons to side mount diving that I missed, leave a comment in the comments below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.